Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Okay. Can I?
Okay. So you are able to hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Let me get started. So, thank you, and I hope this time it will work. I'm going to tell you about software-defined networking and echo. And my own voice.
Yes. Could you start your speech?
I'm hearing my own voice. I'm hearing a lot of echo. Hello?
Yes.
I'm hearing my own voice. So it is to speak. Is there anything you can do to mute or something?
Okay.
Oh, this is much better. So let me get started. I'm going to share a few messages about software-defined networking in terms of opportunities and changes. Let me begin with what is software-defined networking. I believe most of you know what it is, but let me give you a quick introduction the way we look at software-defined networking. As we call it, has a few ideas that are simple ideas. First idea is separation of data and control plane. If network, the data is embedded into individual devices, and as a result, it becomes too difficult to program and they are too difficult to manage. So the first thing we do is separate control plane out of these boxes. The thing that's critical to software-defined networking is a vendor-agnostic interface between the control plane and data plane, and a protocol that we call OpenFlow, and also layer independent. It can be layer 1, layer 2, or layer 3, and so you can control any kind of forwarding using OpenFlow protocol. The thing about SDN is network operating system, and one of the jobs of network operating system is to build what we call network map. So network operating system talks to different devices, different forwarding devices in the network, and then builds a network map that is a central map that you can imagine sitting in the memory or sitting in a database locally. Then we have a well-defined interface to this network map, on top of which you can have these applications such as routing, traffic engineering, and mobility management, and many others. But once you have a local network map, then I think these applications become very, very simple, because these applications are directly working on the network map. And that in many ways is the power of SDN, that writing these applications become very simple because it is operating, those applications are operating on the network map. Okay, so SDN. Now there is one more abstraction that we introduce. Rather than having those applications directly working on the global network view, what we can introduce a concept of virtualization. So the network virtualization introduces even simpler network map, or it introduces even simpler network model that makes it much easier to write those control programs or those applications like routing, traffic engineering, or mobility management. So really, this is the definition of SDN. And I suppose most of you are familiar with this definition. Now, the next point I want to make is that SDN is in early stage of development. It's still very early, and a lot of things are not defined about SDN, and as a result, SDN allows number of research opportunities. So here's the same picture in terms of the forwarding devices and all of these abstractions. Now, when you think about research opportunities or opportunity to do interesting work or innovative work, it can be done in one of these three dimensions. You see abstractions. So define different types of abstractions. Currently, think about it like network map, virtual network, big connector, but these are not necessarily the final answers. We can think about what are the right abstractions that we want to define in the control plane. Second dimension is systems. We have opportunity to build all different types of systems that incorporate the abstractions that we are talking about. Okay, let me give you examples. So when we think about abstractions, these are the abstractions, and we can invent abstractions if we like. Then there are the different systems that we build in order to realize these abstractions, like open flow optimized switch, networking system, virtualization systems, programming systems, and network troubleshooting tools, and so on and so forth. Another dimension to networking research that is enabled by SDN is we can think about how to build it, how to make this more reliable, secure, scalable, and high performance. Think about making each system more reliable, scalable. We can think about making the whole architecture more secure, reliable, robust, and so on. So see that we still have many interesting areas of research that we can do with SDN, and that's exciting about SDN. The next point I want to make is that industry is embracing SDN. There's a lot of excitement in industry about SDN. There are many indications that suggest that. So today, if you look at it, almost every vendor in networking space has announced SDN strategy. It has SDN products, and it has SDN solutions that it wants to deploy. If you're an enterprise or a data center operator, or if you're a cloud provider or a service provider, everyone also announced how they want to benefit from SDN, how they want to deploy SDN, and there are many early adopters that are wanting to deploy SDN solutions. Almost every day or every week, we are seeing press releases and media articles about SDN and how industry wants to run with SDN. So that is good news that SDN industry really cares about SDN. Another indication is there's this Open Networking Summit that we are hosting in Silicon Valley next month, and more than 40 exhibitors that are coming to exhibit SDN technologies and solutions. So this is encouraging that these are companies from all different types of networking. Some of them are startup companies, some of them are leading incumbents, some of them are service providers, some of them are software companies, and all these companies are now wanting to exhibit and demonstrate their SDN solutions and technologies. So that's always a very, very good sign. So the summary of this is SDN affords many opportunities to do exciting research and influence the industry. If you're in the field of networking, it hasn't been too often that we from the research community are able to influence the industry in a significant way. So networking has been relatively stable and what we call ossified, and now with SDN, it is becoming again very hot, and there is an opportunity to work in the industry and to influence the industry. Now, I will communicate that Korean research community has been participating in SDN research from very beginning. and very creditable, very impressive. And I want to congratulate the Korean research community for kind of being early to the SDN party. So this is, good compared to other parts of the world. Korean research community got engaged with SDN very early. However, there is a challenge. We are not done, right? We still have a long ways to go. And so there are two challenges that are important. One, how do we define a relevant research agenda? It is not enough to work on research topics related to SDN. It is also important to work on relevant agenda. And the second thing is, how do we bring the Korean industry to adopt SDN? I know many of you represent Korean companies. However, as far as I know, not too many Korean companies that are adopting SDN. Are not too many Korean vendors that are starting to build SDN products and solutions. At least that I am familiar with. If you look at Open Networking Summit, you really see any company coming from Korea except maybe Cool Cloud, which is a startup company that is building SDN solutions and demonstrating, or there is an enterprise or a service provider that adopting SDN. So I think that is the challenge. So in order to deal with these challenges, I have a set of suggestions. I hope you don't mind me sharing these suggestions with you. I think the suggestion I would like to make is, we as researchers or we working in SDN industry, we may have to identify a local enterprise and its networking and computing challenges. It may be a local university, it may be a local enterprise, and want to understand what is with networking and computing. The challenge is that they have too many appliances. For example, when we talk to our university or when we talk to the enterprises, they tell us that they have too many appliances that are coming up, and deploying appliances, managing their appliances is very expensive. Another challenge they face is there are too many security-related appliances and policies that are very difficult to manage in today's network. A problem that they mentioned to us is that there are VPNs or VLANs, and even VLAN management in an enterprise is becoming too difficult. Another they are facing is, how do they benefit from the cloud trend? How do they build a cloud infrastructure within the enterprise, and how can they leverage a cloud in the cloud as well? Okay, so these are challenges. So maybe the right thing is for us to connect with a university or connect with an enterprise and try to learn what their computing and networking problems are. To understand those challenges, maybe we can build a small prototype to demonstrate how SDN can help. That is, we at Stanford have been doing, that is what other universities are doing, that is what number of vendors are trying to do in US as well. That they understand the problems of specific enterprises or specific universities, then they want to build a prototype. A prototype can be built relatively easily. You can build a prototype using open source SDN platforms. The number of those open source SDN tools and platforms, very expensive, inexpensive or cheap OpenFlow enabled switches like Pika 8, or you can even do a demonstration with Mininet, which is a network simulation tool that has come out of Stanford University, for example. Ideas can be generalized, and then the results can be shared with vendors and the larger community to influence the larger industry to adopt SDN. Then third thing is, we can with enterprise or universities, but at the same time, we can also apply the same idea or the same recipe with service providers or cloud providers. Do demonstrations, do some validation that how SDN can help solve real problems. If we are able to do that, then this will lead to identifying problems, develop interesting solutions, and really influencing the industry and being able to adopt SDN into real network. Okay, I think those are my suggestions, and with that, I think slide. So I'm happy to take any questions, or if you have any comments, I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you. And Open Networking Summit, I heard, will be held in Saqqara in this April. And Open Networking Summit is the granddaddy of all the SDN conference and leading for the SDN and Open Floor movement. Could you give us some information about the ONS paper?
So thank you. Yes, Open Networking Summit is taking up to be again likely to be the best network event of this year. Will bring the whole SDN ecosystem at one place. So you can see, if you go to the website, you can see we have many early adopters who are going to come and talk about SDN deployment, their experiences, and how they are using SDN. There will be a number of users, including startups as well as big companies, that will be talking about their SDN solutions and how they are helping SDN, their customers with SDN. There will be a plug fest, there will be an exhibition. So I think this is going to be an exciting event, and it is going to be maybe the biggest SDN event of this.
Okay, I think Manchurian will also join the ONS for the successful Open Networking and looking for still in Korea also.
Oh, so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.